Shalom guys, how are you doing? It's a lovely day. Maybe we need to clean the camera a little bit. It's still a lovely day. How are you doing? Hope you're happy. It's the month of Adar. What does it mean, month of Adar? What does it mean, the month of Adar? You want to talk a little bit about Purim today? You want to talk about Adar? I have a few things to say. I have a few things to say about Adar. I have a few things to say about happiness. I have a few things to say about Purim. Let's talk a little bit about Adar. Let's talk about happiness. Let's talk about Purim. So, Be'ezrat Hashem, first of all, the main reason why we know about Adar, why it's such a big deal, and why we are talking about Simcha, Mishenichnas Adar, since the time Adar begins and starts. So we need to increase happiness. We need to rise and shine. So why? Mainly, probably because of Purim, right? We know that there were wonders, there were miracles that took place in Purim. And in the end, after a very rough and hard journey, we found ourselves winning and succeeding, and therefore we're happy and we're celebrating those days of Purim, Elu Yemei Purim, and everyone are happy and everyone are celebrating and dressing up and costumes and everything. So from the beginning of Adar already we're preparing ourselves to this wonderful day of Purim. Now, let's think how a person should increase the simcha, how a person can be happy, and especially if you have something that wakes you up for that happiness, like that day of Purim. What happened in Purim that makes us so happy? We're talking about years of fear. We're talking about long period of time of terror against the Jewish people that were exiled to the kingship of Achashverosh, and for many, many years we suffered a huge depression under the kingship of Achashverosh and Haman, the prime minister in his kingship, and we suffered badly and greatly. And then there was a huge revolution, and Mordechai HaYehudi and Esther HaMalka, Mordechai the Jewish and the Jew, and Esther the queen, they brought a great salvation. Let's look a little bit about that salvation. Something very, very odd, something very, very hard is hidden in that tale, in that story of Mordechai and Esther. We're talking about a married couple, even though that in the scroll, in the Megillah, it's written that he was raising her and he was taking care of her, but the Midrash and the Gemara is telling us that Mordechai and Esther, they were a married couple, and because that she was an orphan and he took her in and he was taking care of her, so they gave him that name that he appears like he was her loving, caring uncle or something like that. But actually the deep relationship between them was a relationship of a married couple that has been forced to separate and to go through a very harsh and very hard separation when she been took to the palace of Achashverosh, that was an awful king, very, very impure, very, very into his lusts and desires and into his physical passion of flesh and lusts in a very, very, very exaggerated way, and forcing all the women into his palace for him to choose a new queen, someone to pleasure him, to satisfy him. And of course that he's choosing them based on their beauty and on their shape and appearance. And suddenly this woman, Esther, she is being forced to the palace and they don't have a choice or else she will be executed. And if they will know that Mordechai is her husband, of course that he will be executed as well. And like that we know about Abraham and Sarah and about Isaac and Rivka, that both of them had been forced because of a certain supervision of the Creator on their lives, to hide the fact that they were married to their wives, for them not to be killed for their wives. People can be very, very awful, very, very horrible, that they don't have no end to their cruelty. For them to be able to kill someone because they want to take his wife, and therefore, from such horrible fear, they had to hide the fact that they were married. And she'd been kidnapped and took into the palace of Achashverosh. And over there she needs to play a different role. She cannot tell no one that she's Jewish, and she must not follow the rules of Judaism. She's not able to keep Shabbat properly, and she's not able to keep a kosher kitchen properly, and she cannot spend her life with her loved ones. She cannot spend her life with her friends. She needs to be isolated in the palace. And they're throwing themselves for the sake of Israel. They're dedicating their lives and sacrificing their own lives for the success of the nation of Israel, of the Jewish people, and doing the best that they can. And Mordechai is not surrendering and not bowing and not accepting on himself the authority of Haman, because he knows that that person is evil. And even though that Haman can kill him any minute and can just like kill him, stab him in the middle of the street, nothing will stop him. Mordechai is refusing to express no fear and no pressure to that bully Haman. And he's fighting, and the thing is that all people around him, all the Jewish community, was taking on themselves that fear of Haman. And when Achashverosh invited everyone to go to the feast, to the mishteh, to drink for 7 days and 7 nights, and everyone are drinking, totally drunk, and everyone are eating meat and French fries and onion rings. For sure they had onion rings, no doubt about it. So Mordechai is refusing to surrender to that as well, and refusing to go and to enjoy that meal, even that they promised them that all going to be kosher and wine will be supervised by their rabbinical authority and whatever. Mordechai felt that it's wrong to play that game and to become one with the kingship of Achashverosh in those days of him being under the influence of Haman Arasha, of evil forces like Haman. And Mordechai is finding himself standing on one bank of the river, when all the rest of his people, of his friends, of the scholars, of the righteous, of those ones who are supposed to hold with him in the same place, are all holding in a different side. And that's a real great war. This is a great battle, and many of us are experiencing that. And this is something in common with Mordechai himself and Esther herself, that both of them were isolated. Esther was in the palace and she could not see her family, and she cannot talk to her husband, and she cannot talk to no one of her family and friends anymore. She's over there and she needs to pretend to be someone she's not. And undercover means that inside her heart is still a Jewish heart, is a flaming fire to the Creator, and to keep His will and to worship Him and to serve Him. And that's what she knows, and that's what she wants to do with her life, but she's being forced not to, and to hide her true identity. And we know that many of us are going through the same thing. Yesterday I got a message from a woman saying that her father is not accepting her the fact that she wants to be religious, that she wants to keep the religion, the Jewish religion, that she wants to follow the rules and the halachot, and like he barely talks to her and all the time rebuking her and mocking. And many of us are like that in our communities, and not only the Jewish ones, also people who desires to live means to drop their foreign faiths and to drop, for an example, Christianity. We have hundreds of emails that we're receiving from people that are dropping off the church and they don't feel connected anymore to the message that crowns Jesus on creation. And people, not everyone are following up with that faith anymore, and many of them wants to convert or just not to go to church anymore, and they still wants to go to a temple, but they cannot go to synagogues because many of the Jewish communities are very, very protective and scared from foreigners and don't know exactly what will those foreigners bring with them. And you can understand that, you can relate to that, but like if your heart is pure and your intentions are right, so like there is a wonderful place that I can be part of and they don't let me in, so it's kind of hard. And so you find yourself like many Bnei Noach, Gentiles that just wants to follow the rules of the Bible and does not want to convert maybe even, but they don't fit, they misfit, they don't find themselves in no community, not belong to no synagogue, to no place. And also Jewish people can find themselves in that place. Me, for an example, and my family, we're going and we're distributing a certain message that is not accepted on many people. There are many people that can have second thoughts about what we're saying, and they're not accepting all my speeches, and they have problem that I care about everyone and that I accept everyone and that we are welcoming everyone with sanity. Every person that is normal and decent, we don't have problem with him. And many people out there in the world find it hard. There are rabbis and there are people that find my words scary. I think that people that find my words scary are finding them scary because they are afraid to change. They are afraid to deal with reality. And sometimes reality is forcing us for a great change, but hides a great sweetness in it. That change will upgrade your life, will upgrade the life of all population in the world. And we don't have a choice. So for me in my story, for others in their life story, people inside their own families, people inside their own communities, people that are coming from different backgrounds, everyone with his story finds himself like Esther, finds himself like Mordechai, that everyone are arguing with them, everyone are telling them, you don't understand, and you're damaging, and you're ruining, and whatever. And all those nonsense, and you just know what the truth is. Like your heart inside is screaming the truth. Like, hey, what do you want? Like, that guy is good. Why not to let him pray? That person is nice. Why not to let him in? Like, we don't need to live and base our lives on fear all the time. And people based on fear are causing domestic horrible problems to themselves and to their surroundings, to their communities. If they are big teachers or rabbis or whatever, can cause huge troubles to their people, because based on their fear, they're influencing that energy of fear and terror into the hearts of people. And then people are like freaking out. People are losing their mind. People are losing their attachment to their own faith because of the pressure, because of the fear. So Mordechai, that he's being called Mordechai a Yehudi, and why we're calling him Yehudi. Also Avraham was Yehudi, or like everyone can be Yehudi, like you're Yehudi, he's Yehudi, Jewish, everyone like, okay, Jewish. Why he being called Jewish? Because he was not surrendering. Because that he was refusing to surrender to any power of anyone who tries to terror him, to force him to surrender by threats and terror. Because of that, he is being called a Yehudi. So, like the Judaism of a person, and again, Judaism, it's also a religion, but it's also a spiritual concept. It's also an idea. So, of course, that you cannot be Jewish just by not surrendering to other violent people. It doesn't make you a Jew. But still, we can say like that's a Jewish act. That's an act of an heroic act. It's like it's a praise. It's like it's a word that we use to praise him, by crowning him as a Jew. For what? For not surrendering. So every one of us, if we will stand on the truth and not going to back off from it, he can rise and shine. He can come to some high, very divine achievements in his life, and to play in a role that will open the doors for plenty to rise and to shine and to succeed. And I think that only because that they saw that the struggle on them, for them, in their private individual life was so hard, and they did not surrender, and they refused to surrender and to melt into fears and, oh no, they're going to kill me, what's going to happen with me, who knows, they will take my house, they'll kill my wife, they'll kill my husband, I can never know, people are crazy, like... They were threatened from all sides, and they refused to surrender. Because of that, even though that we're talking about two individuals, only like all this redemption, all that salvation, all this holiday for generations, all those mitzvot, all the greatness of this holiday of Purim, all the happiness of the month of Adar, all those great things because of two individuals, a married couple that is going all the way into darkness with no fear, fighting for the truth, ready to sacrifice themselves, to die in this world and to lose their lives in the world to come, and to be punished for severe arguments against them. All the rabbis came against Mordechai and told him, you are destroying us and you're causing all the anger against the Jewish people, and because of you all those decrees are taking place. And like he was under the sword of blame and rebukes and insultings and shames by all rabbinical authorities in his generation, in his days. Everyone were against him, exactly like Moses. Also Moses in his days, all the rabbis, all the heads of courthouses were standing against him. All the men were against him. Everyone said that he was doing things against the rules, and that he does not understand the halakha. And Korach was standing, and many people were standing against him. And King David, the same. Everyone are rebuking him, and everyone are mocking him, and everyone are fighting with him. But Mordechai lo ichra velo ishtachaveh. Mordechai, he stands aside and he's saying, I'm sorry, I'm not able to follow your truth. I feel a different truth inside of me. And I know that that truth is the right one, because I'm checking myself and I am facing reality, and I am truly seeking and searching for the real truth. And I'm not going to surrender to your speeches and to your terror that is based on your fear, that I recognize that you're just like terrified, like little bunny rabbits, terrified of what happened and what's going to happen and what will happen and what might happen. So Mordechai is not surrendering, not to his own fears and not to the fears of his surroundings, and Esther the same. And when they need chizuk, when they need to strengthen each other, so they're strengthening each other. They give hope to each other. They're sending messages and they're talking with each other and they're building a certain plan and they're both praying and every one of them is fasting and dedicating his life to the right way and the right path. And that's how they brought the salvation. That's how we earned the happiness of Purim, the happiness of the month of Adar. It's rising out of the effort. That is the reward of the true dedication of a couple, of people, male, female. It doesn't matter who it is. It was them in that generation, and it will be us in our generation. It might be you. It can be you. If you're not going to bow, if you're not going to surrender, if you're not going to let fear, terror, and ruin and set your life, you need to go and fight and to be who you are and not to surrender to no evil power, to no authority that is forcing you to not be truthful to your truth, to what that you see that is truth. When you are checking yourself and finding yourself to be a real, true truth seeker, if you are really seeking for the truth, that's where the discussion ends. And you need to be a strong person enough, a man or a woman, a man enough to stand up for the truth and not to be scared to say it. And screw them, like screw them all, screw everyone, like screw them. Really, not to care. Like, so what if that guy has a beard and he's talking nonsense about me? So what if the guy has millions of dollars and he wants to hurt me? So what if that stupid, silly person, he is like whatever? Like, it might be even your parent, it might be even your teacher, it might be your best friend, it might be your husband, your wife. It's like you should not surrender to terror. And that's it. And that's where the story ends. Now, you don't need to become violent against terror. You're not going to say and go drain yourself and lose your power and your energy for that justified war. No, you don't need to fight. You just need not to surrender. You just need to breathe and to relax and to go out to the field and to do hitbodedut. Here I found a quiet, nice place. And I'm spending 1 hour, 2 hours every day here. I'm doing the best that I can every day. Going to the park, sitting, reading and trying to remember the wonderful book that I wrote, and I recommend you greatly to buy and purchase, and not only for yourselves, also for your loved ones. And I'm reminding myself of this wonderful book, and I'm taking the Likutei Moharan with me, and I'm reading and I'm learning, and I have more books. You want to know what more I have with me? I have the wonderful Bible, the whole Bible. That is the best book ever. All the books from Bereshit till Divrei Hayamim, the last books, all the 24 books of the real prophets, and I'm reading and I'm enjoying that. And I have another fantastic book here with me that is discussing and talking about the holy tribes of Israel, on the lost tribes. There are so many testaments in that book that are telling about the 10 tribes and what's going to be with them and what happened with them and how people met them and saw them. I hope that we'll have more time to read from those amazing books, and I'm going to tell you things that happened and I'm going to inspire you. And then going to the fields, going to talk to heaven, going to talk to Hashem, going to express my own feelings, my own heart, telling Hashem what I feel and what I feel that I need and what that I might do wrong, and I'm trying to confess and to speak with Him like I speak and talk to my best friend. You're my best friends. I don't have friends. All my friends are online friends. All my friends are behind the camera. Friends that are students, friends that are willing to learn, friends that are desiring the truth. And here it started to rain, Baruch Hashem. Thank God, we're happy for the rain that is coming. And we have a roof above our heads, so it's wonderful. and it's a blessing. And that's how you need to spend your life, every day, to catch a quiet time, to come back to your true self and to find it and to fight for it, and not to surrender to no terror, to no one who tries to influence you against your will, to force you to do things that you think that are wrong, that you believe that are evil, that are based on wrong and evil and twisted methods. And we need to be strong and to follow the truth and to share the truth and to give strength to others, to everyone. And we will bring a greater salvation than the salvation of Purim that took place in that generation. Because that salvation was not the last salvation. It was not the complete salvation. And our salvation will be the last one, the one who will bring us all, that will bring us all to redemption. And we are about to be redeemed. And that's why our redemption and our salvation is the greatest of them all. And we just need to be happy. We just need to be proud of ourselves that the Creator chose us to send us down in the last generation, in those days of craziness, of madness, of plagues, of diseases, like what that is happening now from this plague that started in China, the coronavirus that is spreading in the world, and people are terrified and people are so lost and people are so scared. And like my parents-in-law wanted to come and visit us from Israel to the US, and they're too scared to go on the airplane, like because of the coronavirus. Like people are terrified, people are lost, and people are scared, and crazy mental issues that people are going through, and sadness and pain. And except for you to find your inner central point of strength, there is no hope. If you're not going to work hard with yourself to find yourself and to strengthen yourself and to find the pillars that are stabilizing you, the foundations of your character, the reasons for you to live, if you're not going to find those, you won't survive. You cannot survive because I'm strong. No, you cannot survive because I have food to eat, because I have a place to live in. No, you cannot. And also, if I have faith and if I'm happy, you need to find your happiness. You must find your happiness, like that I must find mine. And how a person will find his happiness and become happy if he is still lost, if he is still surrendered to fear, to evil. If people are bossing you around and telling you yes to do, not to do, and you don't know what to do, and oh no, they're going to take my bed, they're going to take my children, they're going to take my house. Screw them, screw your house, screw your bed, screw your outfits, screw your money, screw everything. Go to the mountains, go to the fields. And if you think I'm crazy, so I'll tell you, you're crazy. You know why? Because I went to the mountains already. Where do I live? What do you think? Where we are? Where are we staying? We live in the craziest place. It's a jungle. It's Orlando, Windermere, Orlando. Like it sounds like a fancy place. It's a forest. It's the woods. It's like you have crocodiles swimming here in the pond. Like where are we? We have a house in Jerusalem. We bought a house like 10 years ago in Jerusalem. We have family in Jerusalem. We have everything we need, and we chose with a settled mind, out of a pure heart decision, to dedicate our lives to you guys, to come and to give you a hand. And we're traveling the world and we're crossing the country. We've been to more states than you. Do you know how many states we've been in? We've been in Colombia. We've been in Colombia. We went through heaven and hell, and we're still going through our own things. Because we are choosing every day to go into the night. We choose every day to go into the night. That's what we choose. We choose to be the real faith seekers, and the faith is in the nights. So we're going into the nights all the time. We are seeking for problems to solve. That's what we're doing. We're looking for people with issues to help them break their problems, to solve their issues. That's what we're doing. We're looking for sick people to heal them, to give them a hand, to give them a hug, to support them. We're looking for troubles. We're looking for troubles. That's what we do. We're looking for troubles. That's what we do. That's what we do with our lives. That's what we do. And this is why we have thousands of comments on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and SoundCloud and all those outlets and Instagram that people said, Rav Dror, you saved my life. Thank you, lovely family, wonderful family. Like, okay, why? Why? Because we are choosing ourselves, not because we're the Mashiach and his wife. No, we're just like two silly people that decided to go and save people's life, and that's what we do, and we throw ourselves into the swamps of despair and sadness, and we're just in it to win it, and we're not going to surrender because it's not part of our program. We came out defected from the factory. We cannot surrender. We don't have that ability. Maybe this is why Mordechai, it's written on him, Mordechai Mordache. What does it mean, Mordache? The Gemara is asking a question on Mordechai. What's the meaning of the word Mordechai? So the Gemara is answering Mordache. What does it mean, Mordache? And it answers Mordechai. It's the smell of Dror. It's the smell of Dror. That's my name. It's the smell of incense, of perfume. It's a great smell. And Mordechai in Aramaic, if you ask what the meaning of the word Mordechai, it's also that good smell, Mordache, that he was the one who makes good smell in the world. He wakes up people with good smell. And also Mordechai in Aramaic means Mr. Dror. Hi, that's me. I'm Mr. Dror. So you find yourself when you teach. I'm talking from my own guts. I'm talking from my own heart. I'm talking from my own life experience. When you're going to teach, you're going to find messages and hints for yourself in the Bible, in the books, in the Holy Scrolls. You're going to find the wisdom that will shine your life, like that I'm finding mine. And mine is so great that it's also able to shine to my surroundings, and more people are able. And you have the same tools. If you're going to choose yourself to do things with your life, to use your talents, I have certain abilities, I'm using them. I'm just giving it all into this project. That's what I do. I'm bringing people in, and I'm hosting people, and I love people. I'm talking to people. And next week we're going to go to Texas. We're going to speak in Houston and in Dallas and in San Antonio and in more places that I can't remember now. And more and more and more. And we're going to give a few events, a few classes every day. And we're going to drive. And why are we doing that? You think that money is coming out of that? That's a joke. We're doing it to save lives of people. We're doing it only to save lives of people. And we are saving lives of people. What you want to do is what you do. And the outcomes are the results of your actions. And that's it. So choose yourself to do, and it will happen, and it will take place. And we all need to wake up. No one person can redeem the world. All right, I'm going to do this from here. I'm on an island. I'm in the swamp. I'm like, hey, what can I do? Like, what do you want me to do? Okay, I'm talking on Facebook Live. That's what I can do. And you need to do your thing, and she needs to do her thing, and they need to do their things, and everyone will do their thing. And then it will spread. It will spread, and it will overpower, and the evil won't have power against our goodness, because goodness is stronger than evil, and we're going to win. Like small candle in the dark is shining a great light, and dark cannot defeat small amount of light, even small amount of light. And from one candle you can lit billions of candles with no end. It doesn't take power from the first candle to lit billions of other candles. You just need to lit, you just need to shine. So shine, shine. The world does not exist, because Olam Milshon Ne'elem, the world is just blocking the light of truth. The world called Alma Deshika, world of light, is just a fake. We're just inside of an illusion. It's just a fake. We're just inside of an illusion. We're just inside of an illusion.